Stretches for golfers, we're going through the before stretches. So things that you want to do before you get out on the course, or once you get out there, you have some time to stretch before you start playing. So the first one we're going to do is stretching the back of the calf. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me. You want to take one foot in front, and you want your knee to be about over your ankle. We don't want to get too far forward. We don't want to get too far back. But again, it depends on your flexibility in your Achilles and your calf. So you want to make sure that back heel can touch the ground while getting a stretch. Hands are going to come to the hips. Find the length in your body. It's also going to start working on your balance of the front leg. We don't want your front leg to wobble side to side. So really fix the weight into the front leg equally between the toes and the heel. You're going to hold that stretch until you start to feel it ease a little bit, that you're opening up the back of the calf here. Once you feel that start to ease and sort of relax into the stretch, and you know you've opened that muscle, we're going to then shift your weight forward, and you're going to tuck your toes under in the opposite direction. Now, this is where all of your balance goes into the front leg. We're not trying to push and dig into the back toes. So this will take a lot of balance, a lot of work keeping that front leg still. What helps sometimes is fixing your eyes on something in front of you that's very still. If that's really hard, take your eyes, look down at your toes and fix your eyes on your toes. It'll also help you monitor if that knee is moving side to side. So we're trying to stretch the front of the back ankle, not trying to stretch just the toes. We're trying to stretch the ankle. And then from there, we're going to start circling the foot around. So if you need to bring it a little bit closer, you can. We're going to circle from the ankle joint, being very light on your toes. So again, I'm balancing all my weight on the front leg. And then after that circle one direction, you're going to circle around in the opposite direction. I'm doing about 4 repetitions of each, but I want you to do it until you feel you've eased the ankle. So if you feel a little tight in one direction, maybe do a few more until you feel it relax in that motion. And then obviously you would switch over and do that to the other side. From there, we're going to stretch the back of the leg. So you're going to take the leg in front, bending the standing leg. And it would look like this from the other direction. So bent leg, weight is in the standing leg, other leg in front, toes pulled up. Straight spine, you're going to hinge forward from your hips. Be very careful that you're not rounding your spine. Your tailbone to the top of the head, you want to feel like you're pulling it in 2 different directions, and then you hinge forward. On the other leg, so you can see, we're stretching the back of the leg here. So it's important you keep those toes pulling up towards you. Don't let them collapse onto the floor. Chest lifted, spine long. And then we're going to turn. I'm going to show you an inner thigh stretch. So feet are going to be wider than your hips. Hands to the hips. You want to try and keep your hips level. You're going to bend one knee and tip towards, or put that weight into that bent knee. And we're trying to stretch the inside of the straight leg. So your body will come forward just a little bit. Be careful that you don't hinge or tip too much into that side. Try and keep the hips level. And then we'll switch over to the other side. And you're looking for a stretch on the inside of the leg. And you can do that once or twice back and forth. Main thing is that you're moving to stretch here and then to the other side, and you feel it ease a little bit. Then from there, I'm actually going to use 1 or 2 props. You can use your golf club for this next one. So you're going to take the dowel back behind. Now, if you have very, very tight shoulders, you might want to use something that's a little bit longer, because what I don't want is the dowel or your club pushing on your neck. We don't want any pressure on your neck. You're going to take your feet just a little bit wider. You don't want them too close together. And you're going to bend the knees. We're going to do a hip rotation. So we're rotating from your hips, and you'll let the knee move in. So we're moving from the hips, letting it swing a little side to side. As you can see, I'm shifting my weight from one foot to the other, so I'm not fixing my feet down right now. So that's your hip rotation. Spine twist, we're going to use another prop to help us. We're going to pick up a block, take the block wide between the knees, make sure it's comfortable there, and you can hold it, and then the dowel comes back behind the head. The block will help you keep your knees and hips still. Try not to let the block move around. So now we're focusing on the spine. You're going to rotate and then come back to center. And as you rotate, you can think about your rib cage spiraling around your spine and letting your hips and knees stay very still. So be careful that you're not shifting and lifting the heel to do this. Really focus on moving from the rib cage and spine. And if you don't go very far, that's okay. We can start increasing that range of motion. But it's important we focus on the spine and not anything else. And then back to center. Into some shoulder stretches. We're going to take the arm across, stretching the shoulder through here. Be careful that your shoulder doesn't lift into your ear. Let it relax down the back. And as you can see, I'm holding around my elbow so I don't bend the elbow. You want to keep that arm long. And you can even take it a little bit higher up if it's comfortable for you. So wherever you can hold, but keeping the arm straight. You're going to do that on both sides. You want to keep the arm straight as you pull across. And that's your shoulder stretch. Into a wrist stretch. You're going to take the hand in front, 2 fingers onto the first 2 knuckles here, and gently pull down. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see we're stretching through the side of the front side of the wrist here. Be careful you don't just pull your fingertips right along those first 2 knuckles. And then same to the other side, and you hold it until you feel that stretch ease and feel the shoulder relax down the back. And then we're going to turn the wrists in the opposite direction and stretch this way. Same thing, be very careful that you're not just pulling the fingertips, that'll hurt. Gently just trying to open up the back side of the wrist. And again, check up on your neck and shoulder, let it ease and feel the length through your spine. And then same to the other side. And those are your before golf stretches.